Hi everyone, welcome to the Examine Life 2 Social Problems. I'm Professor Gibson, wanted to give you an overview of what to expect this week. So we're in Module 5 or Week 5 of your 7-week class. So we're getting pretty close to the end. I could just advance the screen, that'd be nice. Goodness gracious. So this week we're talking about education. We've discussed poverty, we've discussed crime, different factors that contribute to social problems. So for the creative assignment this week, you're going to talk about problems and solutions for our education system. So you have some reading here from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Social Security Administration, Education and Lifetime Earnings. So you get to see the correlations of how much formal education someone has and what their potential lifetime earnings are. And then this website, a starting point. Oh yeah, so this is just a page about commonly asked questions. Education and society. This is an interesting video. It talks about primary and secondary reasons for education and how, like, socialization was the reason for the public school. Thomas Jefferson was actually the one who came up with free public schooling because he wanted a intelligent elector. If we're going to have this democracy and people are going to vote, we want people to be well read, able to read and process things, because education used to be only available to the rich, and now it's public school is well, school is mandatory. You don't have to go to public school. You can go to private school or be homeschooled, but you have to do something. If you don't go to school, you're considered truant, and your parents can have to pay fines. So now education is compulsory. It's mandatory. So we've gone in America from kids working in mines and having no child labor laws to kids having to attend school and not being allowed to work. So it's quite the pendulum shift throughout that. So that's one of your assignments. Your discussion board, which of course is always due Thursday. You're going to talk about Rosalie, poverty, and literacy. So we're going to continue on with reading our Rosalie excerpts by Leon Dash. So you're going to read part 3 of Rosalie. It's here. You're going to read this article by Marin Blanchard and one from Nora Leach. You're going to watch this video on Brown versus the Board of Education. This was a landmark study that's actually before the schools used to be desegregated with black students and white students, and it's really cool for psychology that a husband and wife psychologists actually are responsible for desegregation. They the Clarks, they did the studies that showed that desegregation was bad for kids. They had the black and white dolls, and the kids would say that the black dolls were ugly, and it used to be this separate but equal, and people thought that it was segregation was okay, and it didn't have lasting effects on kids. So it was really cool that psychologists came up with that they were able to aid in that. We're gonna do something with standardized testing here. Standardized testing, the validity has been questioned for a long time. There's plenty of kids who don't do well in SAT who go on to do fine in college, and vice versa. So is it really valid? Is it really testing what it's supposed to be testing? And then you have a reflection for this week with all the different things that you've learned. And this is just a reminder to work on your final project. So please let me know if you have any questions this week. Have a good week. Thanks.